Good evening and welcome into the World Ice Arena here in Flushing, Queens, the site of an ACHA ACDC matchup as the Sacred Heart Pioneers, the ACDCA team take on the Columbia Lions. Once again from Flushing, I'm Brady Campbell, joined alongside Gabe Takuri running the camera for us tonight. And we welcome you in for what should be a phenomenal matchup between these two teams, not separated by all that much this season. Of course, Sacred Heart, they currently come in sitting at 7-3-0-3 on the season. It's been a bit of a rocky road, but they are 4-1 in their last 5 after starting the season 1-1-0-3. Meanwhile, for Columbia, they're 4-1 in their last 5 as well after starting the season 1-4, and they're an even 500, 7-7 on the campaign this year. And of course, the Lions led by Brandon Avazov picking up where he left off the last few seasons, 27 goals, 26 assists in not that many games considering the amount of points he has put up so far. Chris Lerner with 42 points as well. That dynamic duo has been killing it this year. They are the highest scoring active duo in Columbia University club hockey history. 243 career points for Avazov, 95 for Lerner coming into this game. And if you follow the NHL on social media, you may have saw one of Brandon Avazov's assists that was featured on their talent show campaign on Instagram yesterday with his between the legs feed that led to a Lions goal. Sacred Heart, meanwhile, they are no stranger to this Columbia team. Their captain, Jack Keenahan, was a part of the Team Empire during the 2024 AAU All-Star Challenge, and Brandon Avazov was part of the 2024 AAU Challenge as well. And these two teams, of course, met in the Black Division playoffs last season in the quarterfinals, a game in which the Lions won en route to taking the title home. The Pioneers played in some ECHC history as well, playing in the first ever shootout in the conference, losing to Penn State Harrisburg earlier on this season. Well, warm-ups going on right now. You see the Lions there in the home whites here at the World Ice Arena. It'll be the Sacred Heart Pioneers warming up down the other end in the Road Reds. Well, we're getting close to the end of the season here. We're entering late January. It's go time for the Lions and the Pioneers. We'll step aside for a quick break, and when we come back, we will have starting lineups, starting goalies, and puck drop on the way next here on LISN. Back here on the LI Sports Network and ready to go. First, our look at our starting goalies for Sacred Heart. They're going with number 35, Luke Tannenbaum tonight. He comes in with a 3.09 goals against, .914 save percentage. He's been a rock back there for the Pioneers. He will be opposed by wearing number 1 tonight, Frank Boll, 9.21 goals against average. And a 3.22 save percentage on the season, and he will get the nod for the Lions tonight. Both teams appear to be going with their top lines. Taking the opening faceoff will be Ryan Walsh of Sacred Heart. He'll be opposed by Chris Lerner of Columbia. Lions in the white going right to left, and the Pios in the red going left to right. And the opening faceoff is controlled back to Brandon Avazov of Columbia. And played ahead for the Lions, Drew Skatarzik. And here they come in with a shot from the outside. Right pad save made by Tannenbaum. Behind the net, a check there on Skatarzik. Centering pass towards Lerner. It got knocked away. Now they come together at the half wall. Lerner goes down. Pops back to his feet. The puck finds him there, but he gets tied up. Birch in there to try and wrestle it away, but Lerner goes up top to the point. Venable down low. D-to-D pass out high. Avazov appears to be playing defense here, at least to start the game. And a steal here for the Pioneers, and they'll reset. Little D-to-D action, and now the pass ahead, unable to be handled by Ryan Van Ziel, and it's fired in. Boll will come out of his net to stop it. Wholesale change here for Sacred Heart. As the pass comes ahead to Skatorzak, it was knocked away from him. Drop pass from Jack Kinahan, and here come the Pioneer shot. Right pad save from Boll. That was a partial 2-on-1 there. And here's Murphy. Takes it to the side of the net. Backdoor feed. They score. What a play by Murphy on the pass. And just like that, it is 1-0 Pioneers. The goal for Kinahan. Had a great chance right off the bat. Stays with it here. The takeaway from Murphy behind the goal. Kinahan just unmarked to the net. Backdoor feed. Taps it in. Pio strike first. Just over a minute into the hockey game. And for Kinahan, goal number 9 on the season. Pio strike first. Ronan Robinson takes it the other way as Columbia tries to answer. Blocker save. Cal Robinson swings it down low. And eventually it's taken back by Sacred Heart and pitched back out to center. Solomon back on it for Columbia. Now pass out of the reach there of Jack O'Sullivan. Couldn't find it in his skates. Got a stick on that D-to-D feed, and now Sacred Heart will reset. It's Matthew Strano behind the net. Wraps up the boards. Giveaway pass towards the slot. Intercepted by Strano. Takes it behind the net. Outlets and no icing here. As right in front of the bench, they say it was close enough there for Murphy. Near giveaway at the side of the goal. Good stick by Robinson. And then Robinson gave it away right in front. Backhand try was stopped by Boll. Comes back to the line. Held in by Diorico down low. Centering pass pops out to the slot. Comes to Diorico. Tries to feed it out towards the line. Intercepted though, and back come the Lions. Bouncing puck. Nicholas Sloan on it. May Lyle in to help, but it's taken back here by Sacred Heart. Lyle held it in for a moment. And eventually here it's Nick Venable to put it in deep. And Pioneers with the 1-0 lead will restart. Knocked off the stick of Hunter Maybe. And it's skated in by Koenig. Koenig puts it behind the net, heads in after it, swings behind, centered it in front, and that shot did not miss by much from Sean Pohl. Centering pass into the crease, it's in! It's in the back of the net. Sacred Heart goes up 2-goal. And it slipped through the pads here. We'll take another look. It got through Boll. McDermott just traffic in front. Not sure if that hit a teammate, but you can see the ref emphatic about it. Hayes was parked in front. And just like that, it is 2-0 Pioneers. Just 3.5 minutes into the hockey game. Delayed offside here against Columbia. And that allows some room to skate here for TJ Bayer. Bayer cuts to the slot. Had it knocked away, or check that, excuse me, that was Sam Weiner, number 34, not 24. Now it gets wrapped around the goal. Pull on it. Pull up high. Weiner flips it towards the net, in and out of the glove of Bull, and bounces off to the corner. Centering pass intercepted. Lions look to clear. At the line, knocked out by Lerner. Avazov takes a hard check into the boards. He'll go off towards the bench. He'll stay on for the time being as it's cleared out by Sacred Heart. And then a hard check there on Jesse Mickelberg. Now Lucas Murray gave it away at the red line. Back in come the Pioneers. Trying to dance his way through, and eventually it's covered, was Ryan Walsh. A little bit of rough stuff after the whistle, and we get the stoppage. And well, just prior to that second Sacred Heart goal, they had this great chance here on the backhand. Big save for Bull, kept his team within one for the time being. Winner will take the draw. For the Lions here with the man advantage tie up in the corner. Comes out towards the line, held in at the half wall instead, and then Avazov fumbled it a bit, but holds that blue line. Curls back, lost an edge, back to his feet, maintains possession of the puck, goes across. Lerner, Avazov lets it fly, kicked out with authority by Tannenbaum. Pass across, diving attempt to hold it in from Venable, and he overplayed it, and it's cleared out. Back towards Bowl. Around for Venable. It hopped his stick here, and the chance for the Pioneers to take it. Edward Jackson will go back to his defense and kill more time before it's hammered down the ice. 1:13 left on the penalty. Bowl will leave it for Lerner. Lerner trying to step through, had it knocked off his stick. And the Pioneers bring it back out of the offensive zone, back to their defense. And taking their time, here's Keenahan. He'll just outlet it ahead. Now Avazov takes it. Couldn't knife his way on through past Bayer. Venable, pass intercepted, look out, potential break, short-handed. Bayer takes the penalty, may have saved a goal. And then he drilled Brendan Murphy from behind. And we get the whistle on the touch. 37 seconds left. Maybe a necessary penalty there for Columbia. That will take us to a 5-on-5 here for 37 more seconds. So 4-on-4 for just over a half minute. Venable will sit. And it's a face-off win for Sacred Heart. Pass across, left point try, saved by Bull. Comes off towards the corner. Keenahan was checked hard into the boards, just played it to an open area behind the net. Now the number 9s come together. Ronan Robinson trying to dig it free. It comes back to the line though. A chance here from the high slot. Kick save and the cover. With just 12 seconds left before Ryan Van Ziel returns to the ice. 1:33 left on the penalty against Venable. .42 left. Here in period number 1, it's a 2-0 lead for the Sacred Heart Pioneers. They go to work looking for a third here on the power play as out of the box comes Van Ziel. They just got under a half a minute of power play time. Back to the line, now return down low. Stepping in, cross ice feed there, that time from Murphy. Comes at top, Weiner shot, redirected wide. Murphy back on it. Murphy goes up top, Weiner tried to throw one towards the net. It got blocked back out to center by Sloan. Sloan gets to it, but now it's fired in by Columbia. And we get another penalty. Well, sloppy first period here, and now it's becoming a little disorganized, and it's interference against Ronan Robinson into the 5-on-3 advantage for 52 seconds. Go Sacred Heart. It's been almost all Pios here in the opening 7 minutes of this hockey game. They're going to have a chance to expand upon their lead. It comes back to the line. Down to the half wall. Keenahan plays it down low. Jackson to the line. Fumbled back out. And having the hustle after was Colin Birch to keep it away from the charging Lerner. Birch stretches it out. Keenahan played it on. Good stick by Lerner. Keenahan back in. Potential numbers. Drops it across. Return feed. Big save by Bull. Point blank on Keenahan, who's already got one tonight. On the little give and go play there on the 2-on-1 with Jackson. 20 seconds left on the first penalty. Jackson out for Bayer. Bayer on goal. Saved by Bull and chopped out on the backhand by Chris Lerner. And all the way down on Tannenbaum. This is Birch. Colin Birch, the stalwart defenseman, takes it in looking for offense. First penalty is over as his pass pinballed around in the slot. It's now just a power play here for about 50 more seconds. It comes back out towards the line, fired in behind. Pohl turning with it on Robinson. His pass intercepted by Venable. Up the boards he goes, couldn't quite get it out. Held in, Pohl at the half wall. Stick handles around Venable. Chance in tight, fired high that time from McDermott. Maybe sidesteps a defender. Down low, return feed to him in the slot. Couldn't handle it. And Chris Lerner shorthanded from Brandon Avazov. How about this? Avazov not going to make it fancy here. Just tries to throw the cross. Blocked the first time. It comes right back to him. And Lerner, the quick one-timer there. Jams it past Tannenbaum. We got a one-goal hockey game again. First special teams tally coming of the shorthanded variety. Still in the power play for 10 more seconds. Sacred Heart coming back. Trying to answer right back. Big save Bull, and he jumped on it. With just 4 ticks left on the penalty. 11:05 left here in period number 1. Off the draw. Power play is over. So Columbia able to navigate that the best they could. They get the short-handed goal. They are only down 1 here. Sacred Heart, though, trying to ratchet up the pressure, keep the foot on the gas pedals. Murphy steers it in. And back on it, Skatarzak. Skatarzak around, held in. Point shot glove saved by Bull. .36 to go in a 2-1 game. Sacred Heart out in front. Of course, we mentioned these teams, no strangers to each other. Sacred Heart, ACDC A team, one of many teams, many hockey teams that they have on campus. As this one's poked ahead by O'Sullivan. More on that in a minute. O'Sullivan checked hard into the boards. Comes out towards Robert Solomon. Centering pass, unable to be settled by O'Sullivan. It's hammered around here by Bayer. Held in. Robinson drags it on the backhand to the slot. Defender stumbles down. Curls back forehand. His shot hit a body and hits the glass behind the net. Now it's Sloan. Backhands one off the side of the cage. Hammered around towards Cal Robinson, but Keenahan beat him to it and chips it by him. And Robinson. Ronan gave it away and then delivered a hit there on Bayer. Fired in by the Pios halfway through period number 1. It's a 2-1 lead for the Sacred Heart Pioneers. Overskated there by Solomon of Columbia. He'll head off the ice with Sloan. 2 new Lions back out there. Taking it wide here, McDermott right off a stick in front and missed. McDermott with the go-ahead goal as of right now, and now Avazov working in. Nice move between the legs, and he stays with it. Reverse hit in the corner, threw it towards the front. Knocked behind the net, centering past in and make it to its target, and it's cleared back out. Now it's Robinson. Goes across, Ronan to Cal. He takes a hit and moves it. Stretch pass towards Avazov, eventually makes its way through. And here's number 26 to the slot. This time, he got knocked down by Colin Birch. And a chance here for the Pios, a break. Unable to get the shot away, drawing a penalty, however, was Sean Pohl. Oh, Sacred Heart has had several on-man rushes. How about just a pure breakaway there? And Ronan Robinson back to the box, but once again, one of those kind of necessary penalties to take, and Columbia wanting to avoid penalties all to begin with, but don't even want to give up those opportunities at all either. And so back to the power play goes Sacred Heart. However, if you're Columbia, your only goal has come shorthanded. Not that you really want to play with that type of fire. Gets fired around the boards here. 26, Ryan Walsh. Down low, tough angle try. Stopped and cleared out. Here's Avazov, one-on-one. Short-handed to the backhand, throws it on goal. Save Tannenbaum, and awkwardly going into the boards there was Avazov, and he drew an interference penalty. And so just 21 seconds into the Sacred Heart power play, Birch going to the box. Those two have gotten tangled up several times here tonight. So just like that, it's 4-on-4 here. Back to even strength, a bit more room to operate. And I know number 26 in white is going to enjoy that. Back out to the line, here's Skatarzik. Down low, Venable towards the front looking for a redirection. It got through Avazov and hustling over to hold it in. Skatarzik, he took a hit that time from Jackson. Wrapped around to the near side, stepping up Venable in his skates. Lerner took his place to keep it in, and then it was chopped away from him, and numbers here for the Pios. Jackson tried to return it, great stick by Skatarzik. And here come the Lions, drop past Lerner in the slot, plays it off, Avazov had it poked away by Luke Body. Avazov draws a double team, and now it's taken back by Sacred Heart. Dangerously through their own slot. Avazov there hunting after Walsh. And he just took a penalty as well. Boy, oh boy. I hope you don't like 5-on-5 hockey, because this is not the period for you. 7.5 left. Interference on Avazov. So it'll be 45 seconds before Robinson returns. A minute 6 before Birch returns, and then, of course, now Avazov in the box for 2. 4-on-3 here for a decent amount of time for Sacred Heart. It's like we're still trying to get the face-off situation. It'll come to the near side circle. And it's won by the Pioneers, trying to restore their 2-goal lead. Comes out high, Weiner. Across to the near side. Returned up top. Weiner swallowed up by Bohl. No rebound. He gets the whistle with half a minute left on that initial penalty to Robinson. Keenahan and McDermott, the goal scorers for Sacred Heart. Chris Lerner got one back for Columbia, shorthanded a few minutes ago. Back in comes Sacred Heart. Big check that time on Body. Popped out towards the slot, though, where it's taken by Venable, and he clears it down the ice. Back on it comes Sam Weiner. He'll stop up behind the net. Sweeps it ahead. And with numbers, here comes Sacred Heart. 3-on-1 developing pass across a Bull. Net stays on its moorings, and the rebound try from Weiner was stopped by Bull as well. Robinson out of the box here, just looking to clear it. And eventually will fire it down the ice. We got a stoppage in the face-off now. Since it is 4-on-4, it is indeed an icing. 3 more seconds left of that before Birch returns, and then about 54 seconds of power play time for the Pioneers. Birch on his feet, hand on the ledge of the boards, ready to open that door. As is the backup goalie tonight for Sacred Heart. And to the power play go the Pioneers, but it's cleared out here towards Cal Robinson, and the puck finds him. He'll put it into the corner and head after it. Up the wall it comes, and the Pioneers will reset back in their own end. Stretch pass onto the tape. Look out here, pulling away with the breakaway. Barreling into Bull. The puck never went. Net comes off. Ryan Van Ziel with the chance. 31 seconds left on the power play here for Sacred Heart. Golden opportunity there for the Pioneers. Van Ziel will take the face-off on the far side circle. Comes back to the line. Shot. Van Ziel was knocked down. It missed the net. Shot on from Birch, missed wide as he took a bump from Sloan. Final 20 of the penalty. Birch, skate to stick, handles it, down low, shot blocked by Ronan Robinson. It stays in play. Off the try from, looks like that was maybe. Final 5 of the penalty. Spun back towards the front, no red jerseys home, we're back to 5 aside. Shot blocked in front, and look out, Avazov calling for it. They couldn't get it through to him, and how about one more save there just after the penalty expired from Frank Bull. Just under 5.5 left here in period number 1. And we're back to 5 aside for the first time in a few minutes. Comes to the line here off the draw, held in by the Pioneers. Ronan Robinson running interference that time on Wyatt Grandin. Comes to the side of the net, taken around the goal by the Pios. Victor Diorico. Diorico harassed by Robinson, and now Cal Robinson into help. Frees it up for Chris Lerner. Under 5 minutes left in period number 1. Penalty upcoming again. This will be against Sacred Heart. Chippy hockey game here in period 1. It's on Diorico, and it's a cross-check. And so Columbia, for at least the time being, will get their first real attempt, or so it seems, on the power play. Faceoff will be in the near side circle. Comes back out Venable. Walks the line, waits for traffic in front. Couldn't get a shot through. Spins to the backhand. Holds it back on the forehand. Down low Avazov. Drops it off Lerner. Back up top Venable. Looks over. One-timer Robinson. What a save by Tannenbaum. Boy, Robinson can bring it. Getting dumped after the whistle was Skatarzik. Robinson there against the grain too. A left shoulder save, and Tannenbaum was able to pin it. And after all that, it looks like the faceoff's going to come outside the zone here. Tough break for Columbia after getting the good chance, and the offensive zone faceoff seemingly. But some of that extracurricular here forced it out. Lerner to take the faceoff against Koenig. And it comes back out to beyond the red line, but back in here comes Skatarzik. Skatarzik down to Avazov. Avazov, Robinson locked and loaded. Gives it back to Avazov. Avazov gets it through. Robinson, one-timer missed high. Lerner back on it. Place catch with Venable. Venable up top. Settles it down, kept it in. Now a pass down low. Avazov walks the line behind his back. Shot on save, Tannenbaum. Spun back door. Avazov, oh, and what it go? Luke Tannenbaum, a couple beauties, keeps his team in front. We're going to get another look at those, specifically that last one here in a minute as Avazov enters the zone, gives it away, and it's fired back down. And Bull will leave it for Robinson. Avazov takes it wide. Final half minute of the power play. Robinson, one-timer, fanned on it, still ends up going towards the net, and he fanned on it because he snapped the stick in half. He'll go to the bench. Actually, no, he's going to wait for a new stick, a little bit delayed there, and he's got one. Avazov pokes it ahead, and it's fired in by O'Sullivan. Final seconds tick off. Unsuccessful power play for Columbia, not for a lack of trying. A shot on, kick saved by Bull on the try from Murphy. Back in Skatarzik. Drew Skatarzik had it knocked away and cleared down the ice. And back on it here, Ronan Robinson with 2.5 left. And it looks like that did just have enough for icing here against Sacred Heart. Faceoff will come back down the Pio's end. And while we have a second, how about these saves? Robinson, big kick save there. He made one earlier, too, to Tannenbaum. And then how about that pass by Lerner over to Avazov and then stacking the pads like Brodeur. Luke Tannenbaum having himself a first period, specifically on that penalty kill. Sean Pohl across. Shot was blocked down in front and cleared back out off the try there from Michael McDermott, looking for a second of the game. Down the ice, this one is not an icing. William Hayes, first one on it, meets up with Cal Robinson there, near giveaway, and a good recovery by O'Sullivan. Knocked down at the blue line, fired around by Pohl. Hayes on it, spins it around the cage. Solomon gets to it. Solomon meets up with McDermott there at the half wall, and looks like we get another stoppage here. Puck out of play, 103 seconds left in period one. Chance here, blocked down in front by Robinson. Another good look for the Pioneers. Swung towards the front. No one at the right point, and it comes out. So this is a Sacred Heart University that has an ACHA M2 and M3 team. There's a chance here from the circle. Pad save by Bull. This team, the ACDC A team and ACDC B team as well. And then they have a women's club hockey team. Of course, on top of their NCAA teams. Just about at our final minute. Here's Avazov. Avazov, nice move. Couldn't catch up to it, and Tannenbaum aggressively out to play it away. Chipped out. Robinson draws a hook. Leaves it off for Avazov. Avazov lets one rip. Kicked out by Tannenbaum. Avazov to the circle, lost the handle. Robinson just missed the top corner. Jammed back towards the front. Tannenbaum swimming in his crease, and eventually it's played off to the corner. Payos get the touch. It's a hooking call. Diorico headed to the box for the second time tonight with the hooking call, and Lions just 38.2 seconds until the horn, but they're looking to get this game tied up before that. Glove down and unable to keep it in with Skatarzik as it hopped his stick back out to center, and here's Lerner. Back in, down the wing, drops it off. Lucas Murray, Lerner, Murray, 20 left in the period. Lerner, down low, quick feed in front. Robinson to the backhand, gave up the puck. Skatarzik taken to the boards, final 10 seconds ticking off. In period one, Lerner across, Avazov fumbled it. Got to get a shot away, he does. It is stopped by Tannenbaum at the horn. A minute 22 seconds of power play time for the Columbia Lions. Their only tally on the special teams, a shorthanded goal by Chris Lerner to get them back within striking distance after a quick 2 goals from Sacred Heart. Keenahan got them on the board, and then McDermott with the follow-up goal rather quickly after that. So we'll step aside for the intermission. Good one so far through the first 20. We'll have the middle frame coming up next here on the LI Sports Network. Don't go anywhere. And we're back on the LI Sports Network. Start of period number 2. With Gabe Takuri on the camera, I am Brady Campbell. Sacred Heart Pioneers, their ACDC A team leading Columbia University by a score of 2-1. There you see Frank Bowl. A little bit of a tough start here as the Pios were all over Columbia to take the 2-0 lead. Columbia got a shorthanded goal, though, not too long after that. They're on the power play for 1:22 to start period number 2. If you're just joining us, as Avazov takes a shot right out of the gates, that was stopped by Tannenbaum. There were a lot of penalties in that period, a lot of time spent at anything but 5-a-side, as Avazov didn't get much on that shot. Now it's Lerner, near side, goes up top. Return to him, looking towards the slot, pops down, and a shot as the whistle came was stopped by Tannenbaum. On the try from Avazov, and the face-off will come out to neutral ice. I did not catch the reason for the whistle. Didn't look like a hand pass or high stick from my vantage point, but can't quite see the whole play either. Here's Robinson looking to go towards Avazov. Getting in the way was Jackson, and it pops up in the air and lands at the feet of Walsh. Walsh trying to dance through, could not. The puck did end up on goal where it's covered by Frank Bowl. 38 seconds left on the power play, and now it's Edward Jackson having to be separated from Ronan Robinson by the official, or the linesman, I should say. Will be an offensive zone draw, though, after the cover from Bull for Sacred Heart. Not much doing here so far on the Columbia power play. Had a look towards the net that was blown dead. And now it's Robinson for Avazov. Got the shorthanded assist on the goal from Lerner. Drops it to Chris Lerner. Throws it across. Pass was checked away from Robinson and cleared here by the Pioneers. Final 10, last rush here on the man advantage for the Lions. Lerner back in. Takes it wide. Lerner centers. Avazov save Tannenbaum. Rebound blocked down in front. Robinson a try. Are you kidding me? Oh my goodness. Luke Tannenbaum. What a save there. Blocked down in front. Robinson, Tannenbaum on his side. Kept it out. And then one more. I'm not sure if he got that or if it was blocked out of play. As we're back to 5 on a side right as that sequence occurred. My goodness. Tannenbaum, have yourself a game as back to the net comes Columbia again. And unable to stuff it home that time with Solomon. This pops out towards the crease. Intercepted by Andrew Smith. Smith up the boards. One of the Pioneers goes down. A big collision, and Solomon towards the front. Knocked away. Chopped at by Skatarzik. Now comes down towards Solomon. He's checked to the boards. And here come the Pios back the other way. This is Murphy. Murphy had his stick checked as he went to get it in, and then that pass just out of the reach of Solomon on goal to avoid the icing. And Tannenbaum will leave it off for Body. Stepping up was Murray, but it got by him. Keenahan couldn't reach it. It deflects on to Murphy. Murphy, cross-ice feed, off the bench a try. Bowl the save, and he covers. And these two teams getting into it again after the whistle on the shot from Hayes. Two and a half minutes gone in period number 2, and the action picking up right where we left off in the first. If you like goaltending, this has been the game for you, certainly. Some highlight reel saves, especially from number 35 in the red. Here's Avazov. Takes it wide around the net. Wrap try. Didn't quite pull it far enough. He swept it right through the crease. And flying back in is Pohl. Pohl off the outside of the cage. Comes back around to him. Kicks it around Lerner. Slides it towards the front. Going down on the knee to block it was Venable. And walking right down the slot and scoring is Luke Body. Sacred Heart restores the 2-goal lead. Just 3 minutes and 4 seconds into the second. Some miscommunication there defensively for Columbia, and Body said, thank you very much. I'll walk in a little closer. He buries it from short range. His second goal of the season. Puts Sacred Heart back up by 2. Just minutes after it looked like Columbia almost tied the game. Played out towards Avazov, just under his stick. He could have had a lane to the net if he was able to settle it. Separated from the puck by Birch. And look out here. And it's a 1-on-0 breakaway, maybe a 2-on-0 here. Drop pass, return feed, and unable to finish was Hayes. He dropped it to Pohl, who returned it, and it looked like an open net. Meanwhile, Avazov the other way as his shot swallowed up by Tannenbaum. Back and forth, up and down we go. Hayes is going to be seeing that one in his sleep tonight. Chance to grow Sacred Heart's lead to their biggest of the game, which would have been 3. Big goal here in the early juncture of the second, as Avazov still having words with Ryan Walsh, the 26s. And now it looks like faceoff will be here to the right of Tannenbaum. Line change for both teams. And hustling in after it, Van Ziel got tied up. Taking it, Jackson on the cutback to the slot. Shot blocked in front by Cal Robinson on the try from Walsh. Walsh back up top. Looks like a pioneer there without a stick. Going to grab it was Van Ziel. Not allowed. Columbia to regain possession. Flipped ahead towards Ilyas Satar. He's out there with Mary McDonald and May Lyle. This is Koenig. Across to Strano. Return to Koenig. Strano gets by Satar and banks it out. And a big hit there at the line delivered by Skatarzik. He's reaching for a penalty upcoming. And it looks like it's going to be against Skatarzik. To the bench goes Tannenbaum. Power play upcoming for Sacred Heart as Lyle gets the touch and we get the whistle. Skatarzik will go for interference, or perhaps holding. Ref has his back to me. I couldn't quite see the hands. It was one or the other. But a power play for Sacred Heart here after they got a big goal. And Lerner almost sprung himself and Avazov there for a potential short-handed break. Instead, a centering pass. Another good stick by Ronan Robinson. Avazov chips it out. Couldn't bring it with him as he lost an edge. Wrestled it away from Weiner, though. And the short-handed unit of Columbia going to work. Here's Ronan Robinson. Goes in after it as Avazov in front. His shot stopped by Tannenbaum. Partial 2-on-1 there down low. Robinson with Avazov. Robinson takes the shot, and Luke Tannenbaum through period in 5 minutes here. 25 minutes and 10 seconds has had himself a game. So face-off draw waiting for Sacred Heart in the big one with their face-off in their own end. And the potent penalty-killing unit of Columbia as Avazov nearly took that puck away from Weiner. Stretch pass. Turned over at the line. Avazov might have a short-handed look. He pulls and shoots, and it was blocked. Weiner plays it ahead for Maybe. Maybe dangles through. Hunter Maybe couldn't get it through. Bowl. Van Ziel to the slot. Weiner got in his skates. Look out. Short-handed breakaway. Avazov. What does he have in his bag of tricks? Backhand score. Brandon Avazov, the shorty, makes it a 3-2 game. Well, didn't get too fancy with it. Doesn't need to. Tannenbaum goes for the poke check. He's able to drag it by him and roof the backhand shot. With 45 ticks left in the penalty. A huge goal for Columbia. And if I'm the Lions, I just keep taking penalties at this point. Of course, I'm kidding. But their 2 goals have both come short-handed. And number 26 has played a role in both of them. So again, not an ideal power play so far for Sacred Heart. It's Jackson, wraps it around the boards. Coming down to get it is Walsh. Under pressure from Sloan, and he definitely felt the pressure. That pass splits the D and comes back out. Keenahan will get on it. Here's Bayer. Deflected off his stick. Robinson separates him from the puck. Now looking for help, and he plays it off the outside of the goal. Coming down together was Murray. He's beaten to the puck, however, that time by Jackson. And look out here out of the box, Columbia. Trying to lead a rush the other way, Cal Robinson. Picks it up behind the net, centers it in front, backhand try, save me. Rebound, jam back on goal, and Tannenbaum holds his ground. Another couple great looks for Columbia. They can't buy one at even strength. Remains a 3-2 lead for Sacred Heart as they clear the zone. Robinson onto Avazov. Here he comes, has a couple trailers, tries to split his way through. He crashes into the boards as he lost the puck. And now it's Walsh. Walsh redlining in. He'll go to the bench, chasing after it, Diorico. Robinson beat him to it, deflected on by O'Sullivan to Avazov. Great poke at the line that time by Bobby. Smith plays it ahead. Here's Maybe. Maybe drags it through. Tough angle. Tries to pull in the rebound right over the stick of Koenig. Columbia tried to spring Avazov there behind the defense, and it didn't get through. So Avazov now at 28 goals, 27 assists, 55 points on the season. Here's Lerner. Takes it wide. His shot blocked. And he goes to Avazov up top. Pass shot through. No, it did not. Blocked in front by Koenig. And Koenig brings it out on the try from Skatarzik. Gave it away. Maybe in. Takes a shot blocker save. Bowl. Centering pass. In a couple skates. Bowl kicked it out. Around it comes to the near side. Deflected towards Avazov, but intercepted. And here's Maybe back in. Maybe drops it off, and the shot goes wide. Smith steps up. Avazov forces it out. Sends ahead Lerner. Avazov to the goal. Chris Lerner on the backhand. Slides it in front. Jammed wide. Maybe getting a piece of it was Tannenbaum. Pass to Venable. He steers it in. Hayes, check to the boards. Moved around by Smith. And numbers here for the Pioneers. This is McDermott. McDermott's going to take it in, drop it off, and it's underneath Frank Bowl. And look out here after the play. It's William Hayes, ends up on the ice. While that's going on, we will show you this 3-on-1. Great little fake there by McDermott. Dropped it off, and that one just sticks to the pads of Bowl. Finally, all the players get separated. With 10:46 left, just about the halfway point of regulation time, and A few players to the box here. That looked like Pohl. McDermott will join him. Looked like O'Sullivan was headed to the box. Maybe not him. And the referee is calling the players away to have a discussion at the scorer's table. So far, they put the 2 minutes up for Pohl and McDermott. See if any Columbia players join them. I'd imagine at least one will, and it does look like Venable is headed to the box as well. Long discussion here as the physicality is just about reached a fever pitch here. These two teams, no strangers to each other, and if you haven't noticed, they do not like each other. Of course, they met in the Empire Collegiate Hockey Conference playoffs last year, the Black Division. In the quarterfinal round, Columbia defeated Sacred Heart before going on to beat Farmingdale State College M3 in the championship last February up in Shelton, Connecticut. So Columbia team dual enrolled with the ACHA, ACDC level and the AAU college hockey MD3 level. Refs still at the scoring table here at the World Ice Arena in Flushing, New York. We're in the Flushing Meadows Park, actually. Not too far from Arthur Ashe Stadium and Citi Field, which should be buzzing that area very soon, especially in August. Of course, the Australian Open going on now. The Mets have had a big week recently in free agency. But right now it's all about the hockey here on the east side of the park. Now the ref directing Sacred Heart bench here. McDermott gonna come back on the ice and perhaps go to the bench. Now the Sacred Heart coaches want an explanation of what's going on here, and they'll get one. So for the time being, Michael McDermott, who leads the team in goals now with 13 and points now with 16 after coming in with 12 and 15 respectively. Kalani leads the team with 8 assists. We haven't called his name tonight. Not sure if he's here. Meanwhile, going across towards the locker room at the very least is Pohl. But the linesman talking things over. Now the linesman will open the door for Sean Pohl. And Sean Pohl, with 4 goals, 5 assists coming into tonight, is at the very least, I'd say, done for the period. Now, he could come back with about 46 seconds or so left if it was a 10-minute misconduct, though they have just thrown 5 minutes up on the board for Mr. Pohl. And it's possible that his night is done. Now it's Avazov, who at least opens the door to his team's penalty box. A lot to sort out. Looks like we're ready to play hockey again, though. It's 2 minutes against Venable, 5 against Pohl. And so we'll see if there's a power play here, if we're going to stay 5-on-5, stay 4-on-4. Looks like Sacred Heart has 4 players. Columbia has 5. And it will be 4-on-4. So after all that, 4-on-4 hockey. Once again, though, it was a 2-minute penalty against Venable, 5 against Pole. And here's Sloan. That is stick checked, picked up by Sacred Heart. And Sloan on the forecheck, not making things easy on Walsh. Now it's Body, though. Drops it off. Birch quickly snaps it on towards Walsh. Stays with it and knocks it deeper. Heads after it. Walsh trailing behind him. Jackson. Jackson kicks it behind. Gets to it. Draws a double team there. Goes up top. Shot on. Sticked away by Bull. Body. Body to the circle. Blocker save by Bull. Luke Body has what, as of right now, is the go-ahead goal. Put his team up 3-1 at the time. And he's back on it here. Now it's Murphy behind the net. Leaves it for Body. 2 on basically 4 here for Body, and he'll drop it off to Jackson. Now maybe. Gave it away. Avazov by himself. Just throws it cross ice. Skated into. By Skatarzik, drops it off. Chance from the slot, blocked down in front. Rebound, try, slid right back through the Ronan Robinson off his skate. He couldn't settle it. He had an open net. Skatarzik, back to Robinson. Backhand try blocked. And back the other way comes Sacred Heart. Maybe trying to pull away on Sloan. Dips the shoulder. Forehand try. Definitely maybe. What a shot. Sacred Heart back up by 2. How about that shot? Not much angle to work with at all there for Hunter Maybe, but he picks up goal number 9 on the season. And so Sacred Heart back up by 2. He's lonesome too on that play. He made something happen. Now it's Lerner as Columbia will try and make something happen. Back down the pair of goals. Kyle Robinson. Shot kicked away by Tannenbaum. It is now a 3-minute power play. For Columbia. It's forced out here. And the Lions will take possession back. Lerner back in. Lerner looks, banks it out high. Avazov returns it to Chris Lerner, the dynamic duo. Batman and Robin. Now it's fed down low. Snap back up. Lerner one more. Avazov couldn't settle it. Goes to play it in the corner. Protecting the puck. On Weiner. Spins back. His backhand pass had his stick tied up. Great work there by Weiner. He gets some help on the clear from Hayes. Bull will leave it behind the goal. Still got ways to go in this hockey game. So if you're Columbia, you'd love to convert on this 3-minute power play, especially after falling behind once again by 2. Lerner snaps it across. Skatarzik down low. Avazov holds, shoots, opens up. Save made by Tannenbaum. 2 players lock up in the corner. Pinching down Skatarzik. Knocked away from him. 2-on-1 shorthanded. It's Walsh. Walsh shoots. He missed on the short side. Jackson back towards Walsh. It hopped his stick, and Skatarzik will settle. And take it slowly back up the ice here for Columbia. Banned on the dump in, and he paid the price. Avazov across for Lerner. Scooped off the ice with the glove of Luke Tannenbaum. Luke Tannenbaum is certainly the difference in this hockey game right now. A couple of highlight reel saves. Unbelievable from his side. He's done it twice. Rolling over to keep the puck out on 2 occasions, 1 in each period. And has come up with several more big saves. And at the other end, Frank Boll is playing just fine. He's had himself a great game between the pipes. As a shot fought off on the one-timer try from Ronan Robinson. And into the netting. Tie up at the half wall, comes free, Lerner back out, return to him. Here's Lerner, center point, Venable, Avazov at the circle, glove, save, flashing the leather. 51 seconds left on this Columbia power play, which has just been the Luke Tannenbaum show. Comes back to Avazov. Shakes, opens itself up for a potential shot. Looking for a pass. He got it through. It hopped the stick of Lerner. Maybe a bit too hot to handle. He would have had a good look if he was able to jam it on. Lerner opens up. Shot blocked. 119 blocked by another. This one by Murphy, and he fires it down. Half a minute left on the penalty. And it's Venable. Up ice and now played on to Sloan. Sloan shoots one high off the glass. Up the wall, chop pass Avazov, and the potential break. It's maybe. Does he have another? Maybe. Stopped by Boll. He got it with the cuff of the glove. And now it's Murphy, turns it high. Murphy down the saw, trying to dance. Who does? He just missed that far post. As he was falling to the ice, spins a backhander in front. And now Avazov back the other way. We're back to 5-a-side. A big kill. As Avazov centers it back out to neutral ice. A big kill for Sacred Heart. And here they come again. Murphy in front. Maybe hit the post. Almost back-to-back goals there for Maybe. This one comes in on goal and Boll forced to cover. So we take another look at that chance. For Hunter Maybe. Scored the insurance goal to put his team up 4-2. And had that one going the other way on Boll, sliding from his left to right and clanked right off the iron. Back to the line. Shot may have been redirected. It goes wide. Calling for it was O'Sullivan. The pass had a skate, though, and went the other way. That comes around Strano. Up the boards. A couple of Lions in there to try and take the puck away. And O'Sullivan nearly did, but it got by him. And now it's Matthew Strano. To the high slot. Tried to slide it through. It's poked towards the net. Stopped and held by Boll. 4:33 left in the second. Some changes here for Columbia. Sitar and Lyle hop over the boards. And Sitar throwing out the face-off here. And it's won by Sacred Heart. Shot blocked and comes back out. Here's Cal Robinson. Chops it ahead. And chip back out. On for Lyle. May Lyle swept away from Koenig. Koenig. Swatted at it. Comes back out to neutral ice. And now it's McDermott back in. McDermott takes it wide. McDermott off the apron. Back up top. Dancing with it. Koenig. Wrist one cross corner. Now Sitar helps to play it out. And getting back on it is Walsh. Throws it across. Now McDermott. Letting it go with Strano, so it got through to Walsh. Instead, Katarzyk takes a big hit that time from McDermott. Goes back to Robinson. Lions will make some changes. Here's Avazov with the defense of Sacred Heart, and the change tried to turn back and backhand a pass towards the front. He has been knocked off his stick. Shot standing save that time from Tannenbaum. Controlled by Sacred Heart on the D-zone win. But Avazov will swing it right back in under 3 minutes to go here in period number 2. Up the wall, held in though. Turning with it, Murray. Goes down, pass across. Avazov will swing it back around. Reading that play though was Birch, but he overskated. Jackson Murray, saucers one up top. Nick Venable, hold, shoots, save made through traffic. Down the wall it goes. Avazov reaching for it, drags and shoots, blocked off. And there's Murray. Tried to slide one through the Venable. It was deflected and pitched out. And look out, it's going to settle down, but come all the way to Bull, who will cover as they tried to spring Keenahan for the breakaway. .2:11 left in period 2. Trying to drag his way through. Maybe he does, kicked away. Rebound try stopped as well by Bull. Diorico. Saucers one. It comes out to the point. Birch loads one up. Fanned. Avazov nearly at a breakaway. Birch took it back. Trying to play it out of harm's way again. Columbia can't get it out. Diorico pulls up at the half wall, takes a hit from Robinson as it angles behind the net. Backhanded jam attempt there from maybe Winneco. Comes out to Birch, holds it in, but it pinballs right towards Venable, and he'll backhand it to safety. Right back in comes Weiner under 90 seconds left in the period. Weiner fought off by Bull. Now it's Venable. Venable, stretch pass, Avazov. He's got Robinson with him. Centers in front. Murray. Oh, glove save. Luke Tannenbaum. Have yourself a night. My apologies. The jersey was tucked. That was not Robinson. That was Murray. And flashing the leather was Luke. A minute 14 left in the period. O'Sullivan. Check to the boards. Can the Lions get back within one? This is Body. Scored the big goal early in this period. That put Sacred Heart ahead by 2. Columbia got one back, and then Sacred Heart again now up by 2 as we hit the final minute of period number 2. O'Sullivan. Tries to feed it down low, intercepted. Coming to get it. And a try there, blocked off on the shot from Solomon. It comes all the way around. Stretch pass ahead. Here come the Pioneers. Driving in, centering pass on the backhand wall. Spins it back towards the front. No penalties here. Getting up though. None too pleased about it was Jackson. Final seconds. Van Ziel. He gets upended. That will be a penalty into the power play. goes Sacred Heart with just 14 and a half seconds left in the middle frame. Van Zyl knocked to the ice by Jack O'Sullivan. Sacred Heart, not much time here left in the second. They'll look to try and pile on here. Potential backbreaker if they could find the back of the net in the final seconds. Murphy will take the face-off after McDermott was tossed out. He wins it back. Clear the head. Avazov couldn't get through. That could have almost been another shorthanded look where maybe Columbia has him right where they want him. This will take us to the end of the period, though, as Lerner picked off the pass. 1:46 of power play time left for Sacred Heart. As we go to the third period, another meeting of the minds after the horn. O'Sullivan hoping his team could get a crucial kill as we go to period number 3. Teams trading goals in the second. In the end, it is now a 2-goal lead for the Sacred Heart Pioneers. Don't go anywhere. We'll take a brief timeout for the second intermission. When we come back, the final 20 minutes here on LISN. 40 minutes down, 20 minutes to play here on the LI Sports Network here at the World Ice Arena in Flushing, New York. 4-2 lead for Sacred Heart over Columbia. With Gabe Takuri on the camera, I'm Brady Campbell. It'll be a minute and 46 seconds of power play time for the Pioneers, who lead it 4-2, and they've absolutely been backstopped by their goalie, Luke Tannenbaum, who's made some unbelievable saves. This game could be a lot closer, if not even the Columbia Lions in the lead. Columbia's only 2 goals have come shorthanded. And a takeaway here, and the backhand try missed the net from Jackson. Jackson on it, plays it behind, Keenahan turning with it. Drops it off behind the net. The steal here from Venable, and he fires it down. Columbia comes in at a 7-7 record. Sacred Heart 7-3-0-3. So an important game for both these teams as we're running out of time in our regular season. Conference championships coming up next month. Oh, that backhand pass hit the body and ended up on goal where it's covered by Frank Bowl. Bowl getting the start tonight, wearing number 1. He's played pretty well, all things considered. They're going to need a big period out of him if the Lions want to mount the comeback. Goes off to the corner. Skatarzik just trying to eat some clock of the penalty at least, and he'll clear it out. Back in comes McDermott, takes it wide, fall off by Bowl. It hit him up high. McDermott, backdoor feed, one-timer kicked out by Bowl. Frank Bowl with a few big-time saves to start off period number 3. That backdoor in front, but they score! A PPG. For Sacred Heart, they take their biggest lead of the hockey game. It is a 5-2 game. It's the second of the game for Hunter Maybe. Just drives to the goal, gets his stick on it on the backhand, jams it 5-hole on Bowl. And the Pioneers buzzing now to start period number 3. Can Columbia mount the comeback? These 2 teams will meet up north in Connecticut tomorrow night as well. Right in towards the top of the crease there. Sacred Heart was looking for more. Instead, it's Ronan Robinson. Robinson centers. It got through the O'Sullivan. His shot blocked. Taken behind the net, given away though to O'Sullivan. Brandon Koenig with the giveaway. O'Sullivan just tied up, now shakes free. Goes out to the line. Ronan Robinson, wrist shot. Easy save that time. Sloan towards the front, angled off. And the Pioneers start back the other way. Maybe picking up steam in the circle. Looking for the hat trick. Knocked down and covered by Bowl. 17:36 remaining in this one. Liam Hadcock wearing number 34. He's the backup tonight. Coming in with an .873 goals against, 6.67 save percentage. Sorry, I believe that's backwards. 8.73 save percentage, 6.67 goals against. Late change here as Keenahan hops out onto the ice. McDermott goes into the circle. Keenahan lined up right behind him if he could win it back. Instead it comes towards the half wall. Cal Robinson pops right out to the slot. Poked ahead now, and skating into it here is Murray. He gave it away. Here comes Sacred Heart in the form of Hayes. It was knocked away from him. And a pass from O'Sullivan. No icing here. And the puck is stuck in the kick plate, it appears. Don't see that every day. Although we have seen a skate go through the boards here at World Ice Arena. Looks like that's the door, and they're trying to open it. Looks like they're having trouble opening it because of the puck. Oh, the game's slightly delayed now. Certainly never seen this, and Katorzik just trying to jam that door open. So the puck stuck under the kick plate in the door, and I'd imagine that's also blocking it from getting the door open, although now it looks like it finally came free to the puck and we're set to play hockey again. Well, well, well. Never know what you're going to see here in the ACDC. McDermott to take the defensive zone draw, and he hammers it right towards that pane of glass. Their own shot redirected, stopped by Tannenbaum. May have been tipped by his own teammate there. Give away to Avazov in the circle, turning with it on the backhand. Tried to pass it off. It was taken away from him. And here's McDermott, 2-on-2 up ice. Michael McDermott holds, shoots, missed the net. Comes around, hustling to try and hold it in was Jackson. He did. He just wraps it hard around the boards. McDermott hustles after it. He's greeted by Cal Robinson. Taken away, centering pass. McDermott couldn't settle it. Avazov drops it off. Now the pass towards the Werner out of his reach. Payo's reset. Robinson the steal. Glove down and skated ahead, and he overplayed it. Now it's banked out into the skates of Walsh, and he lost an edge. Taken back here by Sacred Heart. And knifing his way through the defense, taking it wide here and around the goal. Wraps it off the apron was Van Ziel, and we get a whistle here. Looks like the net may have popped off on the shot. And Avazov and Walsh getting into it once more. And now the officials are going to talk about it. Do we see penalties coming of this, perhaps? Doesn't appear that way. So 16:04 left. Comes to the half wall. High flip, comes back out to center. Weiner checked by Avazov. Lerner takes a puck. Avazov going to the goal. Lerner, his pass got deflected right through the crease. No chance there for Avazov, and now it's Van Ziel back the other way. His pass into the skates of a defender, and a backhand try missed the net from Jackson. Walsh out to the line, shot on, scooped up by Bowl, and he gets the whistle. A shot coming from Colin Birch. Van Ziel goes down. Avazov appeared to be the one that knocked him over, and now that won't go unpunished from the Sacred Heart players. Most notably Walsh. Walsh and Avazov certainly do not like each other, it appears, based on tonight's contest. So 15:37 left in a 5-2 hockey game. Face off to the left of Bowl. Goes behind the net. Robinson gets to it. Robinson on the cutback. Venable to his left. Robinson going to take it up the middle and sweep back behind the goal. Looking for a seam pass towards O'Sullivan. Read there by Birch. Make sure his teammates are on side before he takes it in. And he got upended. Cleared out Ronan Robinson as they clicked heels on the hip jack. Deflected in here, no icing. And now Nick Venable. Pass deflected. Ends up with Pioneer control. Now back on it here for Sacred Heart is TJ Bayer. Snap pass. Did Murphy get a stick on it? He's the first one on it. Watched by Ronan Robinson, who took the puck from him. Goes up the near side boards. Behind the net goes centering pass just out of the reach of Bayer. It ends up with O'Sullivan by himself 1-on-2 as his team making changes. Flips it in on goal. And Birch will play the head to Keenahan. His pass deflected in. Bowl out of his net will hammer it around the boards. Took a funny hop right back to Cal Robinson. Now it's Avazov. Flips it ahead to Lerner. Chris Lerner across. Sloan shot ramps off a stick and out of play. Offensive zone face-off here for the Lions, who now trail by 3. Draw comes back to the line. It's held in by Katarzik. Now Robinson overskated it. Pios with numbers. Here is Maybe. Drags to the backhand, left it off. And no one home in the red uni. And here come the Columbia Lions in the white. That pass attempt goes all the way on goal to avoid an icing. Murray in after it. Avazov turning. Avazov on his forehand. Centers it in front. Lerner! Oh, goodness, what a save! How about one more for the highlight reel? Falling on the seat of his pants, Luke Tannenbaum flashing the leather once more. Cleared out by Sacred Heart, and this could just be one of these games as this is an icing. You just got to tip your cap to the goaltending here. This game could be a lot closer if not for the play of that guy right there, Luke Tannenbaum. Faceoff will be to his right. It's only kryptonite seems to be when his team's on the power play, as this is Avazov. Will certainly play the role in that. But he is triple teamed. Goes down the boards. Lerner trying to get through body. Comes free to Murphy. And a good stick that time by Katarzik. Hops the stick of body out of his net to play it and wraps it around the boards. Was Tannenbaum. Now it's flipped back in. Delayed offside. Columbia will touch up. Near giveaway there. Instead it does end up with Maybe. Maybe won't pick it up. Instead we'll just let it slide on through. McDermott going to slip past two defenders. It comes up to Jackson Murray. Murray avoids Grandin. Now Avazov, double teamed, works it deeper. Little spin move to get around the check. Wrapped up the boards. Katarzik gets knocked down. And now body slammed into the boards by Avazov. And Avazov gave him something a little extra. And then Tannenbaum out of his goal, saying something to number 26 in white. And cooler heads, it appears, will prevail here. I believe that initial penalty is against Brandon Avazov. It's roughing. And it looks like it'll only be the roughing call. And to the power play go the Pioneers. with a chance to put this game away. Still 12-15 left, but a 3-goal lead, and with the way their goaltender is playing, I'm not sure if that'll change anytime soon on that end. And we'll do it again here. We might actually have a penalty. And it's a delay of game. And I could only imagine that it was maybe covered. As it's TJ Bayer going to the box. Obviously, you can't put your glove on the puck. And so just like that, we go the 4-on-4. For 2 minutes. So an odd sequence there, and really before the power play even started, Sacred Heart ends it. And we'll skate 4 aside, and of course, though, this is where Columbia will certainly miss number 26, Brandon Avazov, who is serving the penalty that, of course, he took. Giveaway, though, Sloan on goal. Save made by Tannenbaum. And chipped ahead. And here comes Walsh back the other way. On the cutback, Walsh lost an edge but stayed on his feet. And it's Nick Venable. Wheeling up the ice, the defenseman looks back, drops it off to Robinson. Robinson, he can bring it. Opens up. Robinson shoots, just missed. Comes around, a hard check into the boards, and the Lions will be headed to the power play here as Venable got boarded. Off to the box, Edward Jackson, and now will be a minute and 18 seconds of 4-on-3 hockey here. A chance for Columbia to get right back in the game, of course, though, once again without their captain. But this roster is certainly full of talent. They'll use their timeout. With 11:33 left here in this one from the World Ice Arena. Once again, one more time, Brady Campbell with you, joined alongside Gabe Takuri. Happy Saturday morning to those still tuned in. Thank you for tuning in to ACDC Hockey here on the LI Sports Network. Mike Robinson, 1993. Thanks for another great broadcast. We appreciate it, Mike. Mike says, let's go Lions in the third, and they're looking for a big comeback here, trailing by 3 goals. A little recap of this game. Sacred Heart went up 2-0 quickly. A shorthanded goal from Chris Lerner got Columbia back into it. It was 2-1 after 1. The teams traded goals in the second. Sacred Heart went up 3-1. Another shorthanded goal from Brandon Avazov made it 3-2. And then after Luke Body scored that second period goal, it was the Hunter Maybe show. He put his team up 4-2 and then 5-2 here in the third. So Columbia with the 4-on-3 man advantage for a minute 18. Comes to the half wall. Birch will fire at the length of the ice. Ball out of his net. We'll leave it back for Murray. Murray will overskate and do so purposefully to leave it for Chris Lerner. Lerner over the line with speed. Cuts to the outside. Lerner holds onto it. Now has a little bit of time in the corner. Think about it. Goes up top to Robinson. Back to Lerner. Lerner, traffic in front. Lets it go. Blocked down in front at the side of the net. Stayed out. Robinson back on goal. Would it go? Where is it? Still jamming away at it, and it looks to be underneath Tannenbaum or somewhere in there, and he'll take a shot at Robinson. And the Pioneer bench is loving this performance. Blocked down. Not sure if he made this first save. It looks like he may have. Made another one there, and oh my goodness, what is it going to take for Columbia? They certainly have to be wondering that. That was just a tie-up here at the dot. And it's hammered around the boards. Lerner will hold it. Murray, Lerner, Robinson walks in, loads up, fakes, back, Robinson, one-timer blocked down. And the rebound taken and cleared down the ice. Avazov set to return in 2 seconds and 1. As is Bayern. We're back to 5-on-4 hockey here. For well over a half a minute. Now a half a minute. Certainly feels like have to have it here if you're Columbia. Lerner to Murray. Murray slides it all the way through. Good stick there by Bayer, but Avazov able to hold it in. Avazov looks, shoots, and they score! With traffic in front, Avazov took the shot. Jack O'Sullivan will lead the charge to the bench. Makes it a 5-3 game. Once again, Avazov working his magic. O'Sullivan in front. Looks like he gets a piece of that. And pops it, looks like off of Tannenbaum and then right over his shoulder. And so a little bit of life here for Columbia just past the halfway point of the third period. Sacred Heart's biggest lead was the 3-goal lead. This is covered by Bowl. 9.5 left. That goal, a PPG, power play goal for O'Sullivan and company. Jack O'Sullivan with the goal as a shot on another save made by Bull. And O'Sullivan picked up his first goal not too long ago, back in October, and has plenty of helpers on the season, 11, and he picks up his third goal of the campaign just moments ago. Chopped that. And now it settles for the Columbia Lions. Hammered around the boards. O'Sullivan waiting for it, never got to him. Diorico takes it behind the net. Banks it all the way out towards the line. Played back down to Diorico. Diorico centering pass. Right back to him. Victor Diorico around the net. Opens up, curls back. Trying to do something with it, goes out to the line. Weiner steps in, shoots, stick save, and the rebound helped out by Cal Robinson. Now up to Avazov. Go time here for Columbia. Brandon Avazov back in. Avazov, cross ice feed, and fall off. Getting post to post there to make the save was Tannenbaum after a slow developing cross ice pass. Forwards in the change for Sacred Heart. Good stick that time by Van Ziel, or rather Weiner. Cleared out. Katarzyk back on it. It's Katarzyk. Avazov will return it to him. Drew Katarzyk feeds it on towards Sloan. Weiner got in the way. Gave it up to Ronan Robinson. Robinson flips it ahead. Pass on. Sloan deflects it in. Reaching for it, unable to grab it, was Tannenbaum. Ends up in the corner. Solomon digging for it. Throws it towards the goal. Comes back to him. Spins one towards the front. And hit the skates of Weiner. Pops back out towards the slide. They score! It's Brandon Avazov, second of the game. It's a 1-goal game here in Flushing. Well, this is one of the easier goals for number 26, as that line just went to work there. Give a lot of credit to Robert Solomon, just trying to jam that puck to the net a couple times. Eventually it pinballs around to Avazov, his second of the game. This one coming at even strength. And his 29th of the season. O'Sullivan, who scored moments ago as well. Buckle your seatbelts. We got a finish here on LISN. Ronan Robinson, Solomon, Sloan deflects it in. Played out McDermott. Dying in the way of that one was Solomon. Now it's O'Sullivan back in. O'Sullivan chips it around the defender. Centers it in front off a stick. And Tannenbaum able to maintain his post there and get the whistle. You could certainly feel the momentum, though, for Columbia. They could start to sense it with this comeback, and immediately that top line of Avazov, Lerner, and Murray back out onto the ice. Good work there by that line after the goal as well. Sloan, Solomon, and O'Sullivan as this puck stayed in somehow. And it's flipped right off the near side glass down the ice, and this will not be an icing. Back on it, Robinson, as we approach 7 minutes remaining. Ronan Robinson takes it for a swing into the offensive zone, down to the half wall. We'll just backhand it behind the net. And Birch let it go. Avazov went right around him and found the puck. Tried to go up top. He got knocked down to the ice, and back out comes Murphy. Couldn't get through Murray cleanly. And it's taken by Venable up to Avazov. Drops it off. Venable got stood up. Back to Avazov. Centers. Backhand try. Pad save. It's loose in the crease and cleared away. Held in by Venable. Cal Robinson across. Slowed up. Still ends up with Avazov. Drags and shoots. Save made by Tannenbaum. Birch able to get through Murray and leads the rush up ice for Sacred Heart. He'll get the center red and dump it in. And now it's Keenahan. Sacred Heart player goes down. Now it's Lerner ahead. Avazov will return it to him. That was Keenahan that lost an edge. Back in, Lerner takes it wide. Lerner swings it in front. It got all the way through to Avazov, but his stick was checked as he went to shoot. Skatarzik gets locked up that time with Murphy. Murray, cross ice now for Cal Robinson. Avazov has to watch his back here. Player right out onto the ice, defending him through it on goal. It handcuffed Tannenbaum, but he's got it with the glove. And Frisia's play with 5:41 left. Boy, these teams will do it. Go right back at it tomorrow night up in Connecticut. As this one comes to the half wall, jam towards the front. O'Sullivan couldn't reach it. And Sacred Heart trying to catch Columbia with numbers. Columbia started back the other way, and Aaron passed, though Solomon couldn't handle it. Cleared down the ice from the wrong side, I should say, of the red line. This is an icing with 5:24 left. Faceoff will be to the left of Tannenbaum. Sloan will take it against Diorico. And Sloan won it back. Cal Robinson just throws one towards the goal. No traffic, easy save Tannenbaum. He'll get the whistle once more. We'll do it again from the same spot. .518 left. Comes towards the goal, and firing it up the glass will be Tannenbaum. Held in. And now fired. This should be another icing. No, it's not. That's not an icing. And Cal Robinson. Pass slowed up, turned over, breakaway, maybe. What a move, what a save by Frank Bull. Maybe sitting on 2 goals. How about those silky mitts, but could not get it past Bull, who will retrieve his stick in the crease. And back the other way comes Columbia. However, unable to handle it there was Skatarzik. Then the puck hits him. That's offside. Not to be outdone. Frank Bull. Tough break there for Cal Robinson. What a deke that was, and at the goal line, Bull extends that left pad. Had to have it to keep his team within striking distance. And now Lerner takes it down to the circle, back to the forehand, sweeps it back door. Murray was defended nicely there. Lerner in front, skate to stick. Avazov scores! Man, oh man, a hat trick. Brandon Avazov helps lead the Lions all the way back. We are tied. Down one end, Bull keeps his team within one. Down the other, the Lions connect. Off that back bar and out, and oh my goodness, what a finish we have on our hands tonight here in Flushing. Sacred Heart almost looked like they were going to run away with it. Avazov a steal here, centers it across. Murray fall off that time by Tannenbaum. Now he and his team forced back on their heels. That's a massive save for number 35 in red. Avazov, a perfect pass across. I don't want to sleep on Lucas Murray either. .4:12 left. Tie up in the circle. Venable swings it down low. Comes back to him. His shot off a body and comes across. Clearing attempt fanned on. Murray locked up. Great play there by Walsh, and he'll fire it down the ice. It's a foot race. And getting on it first here and swinging it towards the front through the legs. Jackson, drop pass. What a stick by Robinson. He made the play on Jackson. Now leads the rush. Avazov. Lerner just missed. Robinson tried to bank it home. Ends up on the apron. Up the boards, Lerner will get there. 3.5 left. In regulation, Robinson just flips it towards the goal as Murray was in front with Keenahan. Lerner held it in with the skate, just backhands it down towards the circle, intercepted, made a play there to thwart the potential rush going the other way. Avazov, Lerner. Holds, draws a couple defenders, now swings it down low, intercepted there by Walsh. He banks it down the ice, and this will be an icing with 3:04 left, and the Sacred Heart Pioneers up 5-2. About halfway through this third period of play have now been more than knocked back on their heels here. They had a chance, though, to almost virtually put the game away. And that huge save from Frank Bull right here. The takeaway, maybe looking for a hat trick himself. What a move there. What a save by Bull. And then speaking of hat tricks, you guessed it. Brandon Avazov opened in the slot. Ties the game from the slot. Don't want to give him that open of a look. And 3:03 left. And we are set for a wild finish here at World Ice Arena. So out of the timeout, a much-needed one for Sacred Heart. Can either of these teams steal a regulation victory? .303 left, a face-off in the Sacred Heart zone to the left of the crease that Luke Tannenbaum has defended here in the first and third periods. And it's won back by Columbia. Solomon drops it all. Point shot redirected high. Sloan got a piece. O'Sullivan gave it away, and here come the Pioneers back up the ice. Maybe leads the rush. Maybe trying to dangle through. Defended by Cal Robinson. It goes off to the corner. Now O'Sullivan makes no mistake as he flips it out. Hustling back on it. Sam Weiner. Now Birch to Weiner. Popped off his stick, goes around the defender, and Weiner from the circle save. Bull, the rebound dropped down in between his pads. He pounces on it with 2:27 left. And a few more players tangled up behind after, and this time cooler heads will definitely prevail. I think both teams now just focused more on getting the victory here than anything in these final minutes. Face off to the right of Bowl. And it's tied up and ends up in the corner. Behind the net, centered in front! Did it go in? It did not, says Gabe Takuri. Couldn't really tell with the ref's signal there. And no, it looked like it didn't. Gabe all over it. I think it popped straight up in the air. I had no idea where that went. And thankfully, no one else on the ice did either, other than the official. Well, another big save from Bowl. As Keenahan's shot missed. He throws one back towards the net. Blocked down. Look out here as Venable went to pick up the stick for one of his teammates, and that left a man wide open, but instead it's Lerner back the other way. Around it comes Venable. Steps up. Murray has some open ice. Will flip it towards the goal. Blocked down by Weiner. And now under pressure will leave some of it himself and play the head. Murray, though, with the read, ties it up right in front of the Lions bench. Played in deep, 100 seconds left in period 3. Banked out Lerner. Leaves it for Avazov. Saucers run across, knocked down, and it slides in on goal where it will be covered by Tannenbaum with 1:28 on the clock. Sacred Heart coming back with some glorious chances of their own. How about that try from Keenahan in tight? Looked like he might have a short goal. Then we were unsure where the puck was as Avazov shot off the faceoff, got blocked. He made the play to hold it in at the line. Goes down, but just sweeps it down into the corner. And look out, that one pops out towards the Sacred Heart slot, but only one there is McDermott. And here he comes. Sweeps it on goal, stopped by Bowl, and we'll get another whistle. 1:06 left. Both teams making changes. Out onto the ice comes Jackson Murphy. Jackson will take the face-off for Sacred Heart, but it's won by Lerner and Robinson around the boards and out. Smith will just fire it back in as we hit the final minute of regulation. In a game that seemed to be almost over for Sacred Heart now. It's just seconds away from possibly going beyond regulation. Avazov trying to not let it get that far. He's double teamed though and couldn't get a shot away. Goes up to the point, Venable. Traffic in front, back down to Avazov. Venable, hold, shoots, puck down, they score! They score! Chris Lerner, second of the game with 30.7 to go. The Lions have the lead for the first time tonight. Venable the shot. Don't think it got through, but it popped right out to the side of the goal for Lerner. And the Lions are a half a minute away from victory, and you know the Pios are going to be pushing for that tie. Keep an eye on Tannenbaum. McDermott tries to go forward with it. It's played down into the corner. Behind the net to the bench, Tannenbaum. Robinson on it. 20 seconds left. Swung behind the net by Maybe. Venable. A crucial assist to put his team in front, but now it comes up to the line. Chipped ahead. Lerner sitting on 2. Lerner at the post. Final seconds tick away. One more try. Sloan scores. And Avazov getting into it with a Pioneer. Can't catch the number behind the play. Lerner this close to the Hattie. You can't believe it. But just seconds later, literally after that hit the post right there, Sacred Heart now in pure desperation mode to give away at the red line, and Sloan just hammers it. Did Lerner get a touch? I like to look at that again. In case you're wondering, there's half a second left, and players finally just getting separated here. Let's see if Chris Lerner got a touch. Don't believe so. Maybe he did. It may be a hat trick for Chris Lerner, but Sloan takes the shot. And Columbia is going to walk away with a massive comeback victory as the officials just trying to sort out the penalties and make sure that the end of this game doesn't get out of hand. And Avazov will spend the final 0.5 of a second in the box. If you enjoyed this game, be sure to find a way to watch tomorrow night's game up in Connecticut. No love lost between the Pioneers and Lions. I'm not even entirely sure if we'll get a face-off here. Of course, the goal counting. They put 0.5 back on the clock. The goal went in. I looked up. There was still about a second and a half. We'll see. Looks like maybe just raise it to a second here. And they'll just run out the clock, it appears. And that they will. And so that's your game. If you like physicality, if you like goals, if you like goaltending, if you like a game with a lot of penalties, this was certainly the game for you. And down 5-2, about midway through the third period, the Columbia Lions come all the way back and pick up the 7-5 victory over the Sacred Heart Pioneers. And a thrilling game. Gabe says 6-5. Perhaps they didn't count that last empty netter. Either way, we'll await the official word on that. Doesn't matter too much other than potential goal for Sloan or Lerner. But the Lions come all the way back at a thrilling win. One of the games of the year here in the ACDC and ACHA. And if you stayed up with your coffee, thank you so much for tuning in. So a long discussion with the refs and Keenahan and the Columbia coach. But that'll do it for our coverage here tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in again and sticking around for the end of this one if you did. For Gabe Takuri on camera, for everyone here at LISN, it's just us two here tonight though. I'm Brady Campbell signing off. The final score, Columbia University Lions, perhaps 6, perhaps 7. And the Sacred Heart Pioneers 5. You've been tuned in to the ACHA ACDC College Hockey here on the LI Sports Network. Have a great night. Have a great and safe weekend with the snowstorm coming. We'll see you next time.